Carthage School District holds a meeting tonight with contracts and benefits for bus drivers on the agenda. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, Carthage School District offers a new package to entice bus drivers, but do the pros outweigh the cons? Plus, gas prices around the 4 states continue to fall. We'll show you which state in our area has the lowest. And trucks of all shapes and sizes rolled into the Carthage Square today as part of the Maple Leaf Festival.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Carthage School District Board of Education meeting tonight at the Columbian Elementary School. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. The school district has been working on changes to bus transportation and bus driver benefits. The goals of the new packages would be to increase trip pay, offer medical benefits and retirement benefits. But this change would also increase the hours and routes of the drivers, which is causing a stir among bus drivers in the school district.
On the transportation side, we're going to be talking about new salary schedules, one that possibly offers benefits. We want to get that, really there's 2 phases of that. One would be for our brand new recruits that we'd bring into the program. The other side is trying to figure out how can we adjust our current salary schedule to accommodate our current drivers, the salary schedule we're on, and what a future salary schedule might look like that includes benefits.
The new rules are drastically going to affect every bus driver. We're all going to take a pay cut. It's easy math. You don't have to go to school for that math.
The school board will review the item and vote at the next school board meeting. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at your forecast.
Well, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today after the weekend was fantastic again today. Fantastic temperature, 65, chilly start, 39, 71 is the average high. Record on this date is 88. And if we go outside, temperatures cooling back. 46 in Monette, Miami, 45 in Lamar, Parsons sitting at 42 degrees. But we have clear skies. There's not a whole bunch going on. In fact, the entire Central Plains, pretty quiet. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours. Here's the beginnings of our next storm system that will start to affect us by the middle of the work week. For us tonight, clear skies, dropping back 39 once again. If we look down the road here, warming up next few days, the winds also starting to increase, weak cold front, but great temperatures all week. So we're going to give you all those details here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Fall can mean increased deer sightings in the 4 states, and that can mean an increase in deer collisions. Insurance experts say claims for collisions with deer rise during the fall, which is mating season. They also say there are simple ways to reduce your chances of deer collision, such as slowing down, being aware and alert, not relying on deer whistles, and brake, don't swerve. If you do hit an animal, move your car safely off the road and call the police or animal control. Damage from animal collisions is usually covered by auto insurance policies.
You could call 911 too. You could call 911. They would hook you up with a conservation agent. So, you know, if a deer is immobilized on the road where it's causing a hazard to oncoming traffic or other traffic, you know, you could call 911. But in most instances, the deer will go ahead and make it off the road. You don't need to worry about the deer. What you need to worry about is, are you all right and your vehicle's all right? And you know, those are your 2 main worries.
Oklahoma leads the 4 states with the highest average chance of hitting a deer, followed by Kansas, Missouri, and then Arkansas. City of Parsons, Kansas reports a mountain lion sighting over the weekend. Mountain lion was documented on a security video. The location was along the northeast edge of town near Labette Creek. While this mountain lion is likely no longer in the city, residents should remain alert. If the mountain lion is spotted in town, residents should promptly contact the Parsons Police Department. Since 2007, mountain lions have been confirmed in more than 60 times in Kansas. Good news for drivers in the 4 states. Gas prices look to be on their way down. The national average now sits at $3.60. A full 20 cents more than the highest 4-state average, which is Kansas at $3.41. Missouri is next at $3.27, and then Oklahoma at $3.26, and Arkansas with the lowest at $3.18. Gas prices may be even lower in some area counties. Crawford sits at $3.38, Ottawa County at $3.09, Jasper County at $3 per gallon. A unique volunteer opportunity that both honors the past and the future. Caretaker Jim Beeler says he doesn't want the history to become forgotten history. Preservation is exactly why Peace Church Cemetery is inviting the community to take a tour and listen to the stories behind the headstones.
We've had ladies come out here. Matter of fact, one of our board members, she was 85 years old. She just passed away recently, and she was out here every 2 weeks doing something here at the cemetery. This was one of her best things, Doris Berryhill.
Peace Church Cemetery historic tours will be held Saturday at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Big rigs filled the Carthage Square today. It's part of the Maple Leaf Festival. Folks had the chance to get up close to the trucks and equipment, vehicles, and climb inside. Officials say it's a way for the community to learn more about these trucks, which are vital to our economy.
You know, we see these vehicles, whether they're putting up power lines or fixing poles, and kids are curious. So this is a way for kids and families to talk to those individuals that provide those services for us to learn about what they do, try on the fireman's boots, and just have a really good time, and really maybe that's their new profession, that they want to be that fireman.
The Maple Leaf Festival will run through Saturday with events including a carnival, parade, and a tractor show. Well, coming up, some area softball teams have their sights set on championship glory. Brock Baldridge has the details from tonight's postseason matchups. Plus, the war in the Middle East impacts the youngest people.
Fear on both sides of the Israel-Gaza border. I'm Ian Lee with how children are bearing the brunt of this war.
We could all use more of it.
Israel Defense Forces say it has killed the head of Hamas General Intelligence Operation. In just over a week, the conflict has become the deadliest of 5 Gaza wars for both sides, with more than 4,000 deaths. Natalie Brand reports on the latest.
He's coming here to do the following.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken delivered remarks from Israel, expressing solidarity and announcing President Biden will visit the Jewish state on Wednesday.
President Biden will again make clear, as he's done unequivocally since Hamas's slaughter of more than 1,400 people, including at least 30 Americans, that Israel has the right and indeed the duty to defend its people from Hamas and other terrorists and to prevent future attacks.
The Secretary of State met for hours with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his war cabinet.
President Biden will underscore our crystal clear message to any actor, state or non-state, trying to take advantage of this crisis to attack Israel. Don't.
Secretary Blinken also says the U.S. and Israel have agreed to develop a plan that will enable humanitarian aid from donor nations to reach civilians in Gaza, including the possibility of creating areas to keep civilians out of harm's way.
We are only citizens, we are not fighting, we are not doing anything, we are just living here.
Israel's military released this chilling video, which it says was found on the body of a dead Hamas militant. The video appears to show the gunmen hunt their victims inside their homes and appears to have been edited. Here in the U.S., demonstrations against the war continue. Across from the White House, protesters gathered to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
As of tonight, the border with Egypt is still closed to thousands of civilians trying to flee the war zone. Also tonight, the U.S. State Department says nearly 1,000 U.S. citizens and their immediate family members have departed Israel on U.S. government-chartered transport. A U.S. Marine Rapid Response Force is headed to the waters off the coast of Israel. This as the Pentagon is preparing American troops for a potential deployment to the country. A defense official says the Rapid Response Force is made up of 2,000 Marines and sailors. The group will join a growing number of U.S. warships and forces converging on Israel. It's in the U.S. effort to send a message of deterrence to Iran and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Their mission would be to help with medical and logistical support within the country. We're caught in the middle of the war between Israel and Hamas are thousands of children, some killed, others wounded, and many uprooted from their homes. Ian Lee has more on the devastation hitting the most innocent involved.
With war all around them, these young Palestinians are still managing to play like children when they're in the park.
You can see rubble nearly everywhere you go.
13-year-old Omran says he and his friends are fully aware of what is consuming their lives.
Planes above could bomb at any moment. It's unsafe. It's not fair that this is happening. It shouldn't be happening.
Children make up almost half of Gaza's population, and many were living in poverty before this conflict. Now they're waiting in long lines for food and water, some living in tents at makeshift shelters. And hundreds are among the dead and wounded, many from Israeli airstrikes. Here in Israel, residents living along the border with Gaza are evacuating their homes in fear of Hamas.
We live in Sderot because the situation is very dangerous here.
Raya Schwartz and her children are boarding a bus for a safer part of the country. Their town of Sderot was once specifically targeted during the initial attack and has since been hit with rocket strikes. For other Israeli families, life is at a standstill with loved ones held hostage.
I ask Hamas, which is holding my family, I hope again in good health, please stop, and the Israeli government to please stop and just bring the women and children back.
Israel's military says Hamas has nearly 200 hostages. Ian Lee, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Hamas says it will kill hostages if Israel strikes civilians without warning. And as Israel prepares for a ground invasion, it's unclear how and if hostage negotiations will take place. A little later, the four states saw many great local sports performances last week, but only one could be called the performance of the week. Brock has details on who won this week's honors coming up in sports.
Plus, our temperatures are going to start to warm up just a little bit more. We're going to look at that coming up.
Car crash killed Johnson, Voorhees, and Martucci.
We definitely had a great Monday for us today. Plenty of sunshine across the region. Temperatures great, mid-60s during the afternoon hours, and clear skies. Still have clear skies right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Looks good. We're going to see pretty much clear skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, of course, fall foliage. Our trees are starting to change color. So where we kind of sit right about now is we have partial fall foliage, but as we go through the next week, we get near our peak, and then once we get to about the first week of November, so about November 1st through 5th is usually when we get our peak in our colors on the trees, which is coming up just in the next few weeks. All right, 45 Nevada, 48 Neosho, 46 Miami, 48 in Iola. You can go outside, 7th and Rangeline, sitting at 46. And it feels like 46, dew point at 40 degrees. Through the night, lower 40s will back down right around 40 for an overnight low, back to 55 by 10 o'clock in the morning. Couple little clouds streaming through, but in general, we have pretty much clear skies, just a little deck of clouds, which is working off toward the south into the east. Out to the west, here's our next system, but follow the arrows, and I'll show you where it's going to go. It's fairly weak. It doesn't have a lot of moisture with it, so we're mainly going to stay dry, but it will drop through a weak little cold front. So it starts to slide in late Wednesday into Thursday. As it passes by, huge ridge of high pressure out toward the west, so no big storm systems, meaning most of the week is pretty calm across the region. Let's go through time. Near 40 when you wake up in the morning if you are getting up early. By noon, most of us will be into low to mid 60s, very similar to our high today. A little warmer tomorrow, about 70, 71, Lamar, 68, Neosho, Columbus, 69, Miami, about 68 degrees. Tomorrow night, we get some clouds in here late, not as chilly. We drop back into the upper 40s. And then on Wednesday, we get a lot of clouds, especially during the afternoon hours. Now, that's going to be a weak cold front that slides through. You can see the wind shift line. With it, we may get a couple light little showers as it passes through, but besides that, most of the week is going to be quiet. All right, day planner for you tomorrow, 9 a.m., 47, 65 by 1, 68 by 3, clear skies all day long. Southerly winds start to pick up just a bit. We're going to have gusts kind of 15 to 20 for us at times tomorrow, and then a little bit stronger as we get into Wednesday, gusts kind of 20 upwards to about 30 miles per hour. But all week it looks good. Look at Thursday, lower 70s, partly sunny skies. Friday, lower 70s, mostly sunny skies. So we get a nice little stretch of fall-like weather. All right, 69 for us tomorrow, 75 on Wednesday, that slight chance for a shower. 71 Thursday, 72s. Heading into the weekend, Maple Leaf looks pretty good. And then warming up a bit Sunday and Monday. Much better chances for rain all of next week.
Yeah. So that means we need to get what we need to get done outside done this week.
Good idea.
Yeah, that that final fall stuff before it gets too cold.
Right.
All right, thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Still ahead, Pittsburgh State football moves up in the rankings from the latest coaches poll, and 4 local high school softball teams compete for district titles. We'll have the highlights next in sports.
Kinds of links to The Missouri Southern Lions are coming off of a tough home loss against their rivals Pittsburgh State. The Lions will now hit the road versus a winless Lincoln team, but that's not stopping Missouri Southern from not taking their opponents seriously.
The difference of preparing for a Pittsburgh or preparing for a Lincoln really just it lies on us, our attitude, our demeanor, and we got to make sure they're the same, because you guys know how momentum is, you guys know how teams are. If you let a team hang around, if you mess around and we're just going to go out, you'll mess around and get embarrassed. And so we got to make sure that we're dialed in and got a good game plan for them.
It's always different going on away games. You have things you don't plan for sometimes, but I think it's going to be nice to get away from Joplin for a little bit, go see a new field. We haven't been there in 2 years, and I think we're going to play. We're going to try to execute the best we can.
Let's check out the latest AFCA coaches poll. If you missed it, well, the #1 overall ranked team in the country, Ferris State, who Pitt State fans are far familiar with, lost to Grand Valley State on Saturday, which means we have a new top-ranked team in the country. And at #1, it is the Colorado School of Mines. Pittsburgh State moves up to #2. Other teams in the MIAA include Central Missouri at #16 and Emporia State at #24. Postseason high school softball rolls around right here in Southwest Missouri. We still have a handful of teams in our local area that are alive to win a district championship game tonight. Neosho versus Ray Peck in the Class 5 District 7 title game. Winner will move on to the state quarterfinals on Saturday. This game was a pitcher's duel in the first 3 innings. Kelsey Donaldson was in the circle for Ray Peck, and she was tough to bring down. 17 strikeouts tonight. The sophomore lefty wasn't making it easy. On the other side, for Neosho was Carly Kennard, and she was right there with her. Both pitchers out-dueling each other. Kennard finished the game, or at least the second inning here, with a swing and a miss. Neosho looking to break through with the bats, though, in the third. Great play here defensively by Becklin. Garrett, diving stop, throw to first is in time. Big confidence boost for the Wildcats. So bottom of the fourth now, still scoreless. Hayden Kurtz singles up the middle for Ray Peck. Throw to home is not in time, but great awareness by the catcher Autumn Kennard to get the runner out third. So top of the 7th, Neosho trails 5-0. Got to get on base here. Kelsey Donaldson shuts the door and shuts out Neosho. Ray Peck beats Neosho 5-0 to end the Wildcats season. Elsewhere tonight, the Class 4 District 7 softball title game between Nevada and Webb City. Second inning, scoreless game. Addie Brown at the plate, and she crushes it. Goodbye home run, 2-run jack. Lady Cards lead it 2-0. The top of the third now, Dawson Decker at the plate. He hits this one to left field. The Tigers can't field it cleanly. That lets Kylie Sargent score, and right behind her is Alex Maturino. 4-0 Webb City. To the 6th inning now. Here come the Nevada Tigers. Addie Burns pitches it, but it's a wild pitch. That helps Kanaya Johnson score to give Nevada their 3rd score of the inning. So Tigers looking to tie the game. Hope Harding at the plate. She gives us a ride to deep right field. It's going to stay in the park. Kylie Johnson will score from third base, and now we are tied. So we head to extra innings now. Bottom of the ninth, Tigers at bat. Wild pitch for Webb City. Kara Phillips comes in to score for Nevada, and the Tigers win in dramatic fashion, 6-5. They are your district champions. Nevada will play Kearney this Saturday to keep their playoff run alive.
It was going to be a tough game. You're in a district championship game, you know you're going to play a quality opponent. We played Webb City twice this year, both were close games, and so we knew it was going to require our best effort. And as we saw as the game unfolded, it was back and forth. Both teams played good softball, and it came down to the end. So.
Other softball scores tonight, the Cassville Wildcats are your district champions as they beat the Doniphan Donettes 7-6 on a walk-off RBI by Nevaeh Johnson. This is Cassville's first district softball title in school history. They will play the winner of the game between Fatima and Blair Oaks this Saturday. Well, the votes are in, and you, the public, or at least the audience, has selected the Frontenac Raiders for our Performance of the Week following our press box show on Friday night. Frontenac beat the undefeated Parsons Vikings team 10-8 thanks to a game-winning field goal late in the game by Frontenac's kicker Aiden Hill. The Raiders improved to 6-1 on the season. They will face the Galena Bulldogs on the road this Friday night. And last note here, Division I AP Top 25 poll came out today for the men's college basketball season. Here's a glance at the top 4 teams. The Kansas Jayhawks are the #1 team in the country to begin the season. Only other Big 12 team that's in the top 10 is the University of Houston, one of those Big 12 newcomers. They are ranked at number 7. It's a look for sports. We'll be right back with more news right after this.
Beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today.
Are you going to join us?
Yeah. I didn't know we were coming right out, but
yeah.
it seems that it's like all.
Well, you're working on that final sports note.
Final sports note. Well, it was great to see the Nevada win their district title, and really tough way for the Cards to go out and Neosho. So look forward to seeing them next season.
That's right.
Looks good for us tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be great, right around 70 degrees for a high.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Let's make it a wonderful evening and an even better tomorrow.